Today I received a message on Facebook about handling the Zoom R8. The person in question couldn't find a way. He tried to import the audio files and he didn't get it to work. So I just came back, didn't get it to work. For people who don't want to hear a lot of blah blah but just a solution, I will put a link down where I start with explaining in easy steps. I just came back from a few gigs in Japan, so I'm a little bit fatigued and jet lagged, but since I got nothing better to do now than rest and do something like this, I figured I would make the video as soon as possible. Okay, first things first, we're gonna power the Zoom R8 up. And done. And you need to make a project to which you're gonna import the audio. So I'm gonna make now a new project, enter, and I call the project, in this case, wrong side, 01. You can call it everything you want, you can rename it. Press enter. And then he asks you the bitrate, 44.1 or 48 kilohertz. This is very important because you have to adapt your audio also to it. So if you are gonna export your audio in your computer to 44.1, which is CD quality, then you use 44.1. If you go beyond 44.1, 48 kilohertz, which used to be mini disc quality and other things, then you should rate your project to 48 kilohertz. Both work just fine. In my case, most of the time I use 44.1 because when you have 44.1 kilohertz, you can still use all the internal effects in the Zoom R8, like reverbs and stuff like that, if you would choose to hook up your vocal mic through that. Okay, well, then you go down and you click execute. And your new project is loaded. Now I have prepared, the test file that we prepared in the PC, that is ready. I will now import into the Zoom H1, R8. Sorry, it was a long day in the plane. And how we do this is we click USB again and we change the function audio interface to card reader. Press enter. And now you hear my Windows. Okay, well, I'm gonna connect the R8 as a card reader. And now it's starting up and you will see here a folder appearing. Here it is. And you see that it has different kinds of things on it. I use this card for several things. You can keep your family pictures next to it or some MP3s or whatever you want. It works next to each other. You have this folder called Zoom R8. You double click it. Then you go to project, and I got loads of those, and then here you see project 001, the one we made earlier on. Well, here it is. And then you have the folder audio in there. You double click that, and all you have to do is you have to put the audio file you have made as a backing track or MP3 music player or anything, but mostly as a backing track right here. in this folder. That's about it. I can close this up. I can now deactivate the card reader. Are you sure? Yes, and it will disappear. That was all. So we disconnect the USB, the card reader function. Now again, it's a standalone device. Okay, you see project 001 is loaded. If you want to load your project, you just go to select, and there's a list with all your projects. Project number 1, and it's loaded again. Now if you want to load up a track, you go to track, and then I'll choose in my case track 7 and 8. You see these are mono because it's only one. If you want stereo track, you see these two go together, so the left and right are already selected. In this case that has not yet happened, but if it's a stereo track that get loaded, he will team up the two channels automatically. He will link them up. Okay, so again, I go back because I'm talking too much again. If you want to do this and you add a track, you want to load a track to one of the channels, you push track, and then you see take, new take on the top. You press enter. He says file, pattern, loop, or other project. Pattern and loop is for the sampling function, which I don't use. Other project just means that, say you have some audio file which you imported to another project you used on here, you can import it to this one. Okay, file is the one we need. So the first one, I press enter again. And then you see standing there test.wav. Okay, I press enter. And it's loaded. And you see now that the two lights are on together. I exit this menu to the beginning, like this. And I will now hook up the headphone out of the R8 to my Zoom H1 in which I am talking at the moment. Okay, I hooked up the Zoom R8 to my Zoom H1 at the headphone out, and I selected here the internal microphone here at the bottom, and I'm talking through that now. If everything adds up and everything is the way it should be now, and I loaded everything in, if I push play now, you will hear a spooky intro I use in one of my bands on channel 7 and 8. I don't have to do anything extra to have it play. Now I load it in. Just make sure that these two channels are green. And when I push them again, now they're off. Now they're set for recording. And now they're just in playback mode, and that is what you want. So if I press play now, you will hear the music. And as you can hear, it's playing just fine. And if I take now the faders from 7 and 8 and I pull them down, it should go down. And you still hear my voice because I come in on channel 2, I believe. Blah 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 blah. No, it's inputs 2, but it isn't routed at the moment. Okay, so I'll take this up again. And you see how it works. So that is how you do this. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask them. I will try to make a video, or maybe I can just explain in the comments. Bye.